After Britney broke her silence and revealed the situation that she has been living under, the world stood up to support her. Everyone immediately became aware of Britney's father and the role he has been playing in her conservatorship, and he quickly was turned into public enemy number one. But what about the rest of her family? For example, her sister Jamie Lynn Spears, who has claimed for years that she doesn't have anything to do with Britney's conservatorship and has also said several times that she hasn't received a dollar from Britney's money. But now new evidence has arisen that she has indeed very good reasons to stay silent about the whole thing, and Britney has taken to Instagram to expose her sister and fire shots at her. Many longtime fans of Britney and her music probably already know, but for those of you who don't, Britney's battle trying to break free of her conservatorship has been going since around 2008 and is still going up until this day. The case actually went silent for a couple of years and everyone seemed to forget about it, but recently Britney gathered up the courage to speak up and managed to secure a court hearing to expose how she has been a victim of conservatorship maltreatment. As we found out in the hearing, Britney Spears has gone through a lot, and we mean 13 long years of pain under the hands of her so-called family, and just recently, Britney Spears finally called out her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, in her recent interviews and Instagram posts for having little to no support during those 13 years. So how did Britney Spears tell her side of the story that she has been forbidden to speak about for more than a decade? What did she say about her own family, her blood, her sister? Let's take a look back at how the story began and how it ended this way. Britney Spears started her career pretty young after appearing in stage productions and television series. Britney signed with Jive Records at age 15, and her first two studio albums certified diamond in the US, which were Baby One More Time in 1999 and Oops, I Did It Again in 2000. Both of them were global successes and became two of the best-selling albums of all time, along with making her the best-selling teenage artist of all time. At the early age of 17, she became a worldwide phenomenon when her hit record with her all-time masterpiece, Baby One More Time, which brought more attention to her music, which have been cited as a hallmark for pop music and is praised for the revival of the teen pop genre. But this sudden success did not just make her a one-hit wonder. She continued her stardom, releasing more songs in the teen pop genre, going on worldwide tours, and earning tons of awards. Her hit, Baby One More Time, alone bagged her 2 Grammy nominations on her first album, which is pretty impressive. However, for nearly half of Britney's decades-long career as a world-renowned pop star, the womanizer singer hasn't held full control of her life. Britney has been under a conservatorship helmed by her father Jamie Spears since the singer's infamous breakdown 12 years ago, following a year of seemingly mental breakdowns and unusual behavior such as shaving her head and going after paparazzi's car with an umbrella, which resulted in her needing to take time for herself. After almost a decade of gracing the stage with her pop star natural-born vocals and incredible dance moves, she kind of faded, which is quite understandable because new pop stars were starting to emerge, and people's definition of new and entertaining was changing with the times as well. During these years, Britney has been under a conservatorship agreement. A conservatorship, according to the California court's official website, is where a judge appoints an individual or organization to care for another adult who's deemed unfit to care for themselves or to manage their own finances. For her specific case, Britney is considered the conservative and her father Jamie the conservator, but what most fans didn't know was it was much worse for the pop star. She was not allowed to decide for herself. She wasn't even allowed to use her own phone to tweet for social media. Her finances were all controlled and basically her whole life was being ruled by other people. She basically had no rights. In the statement, she said, "I was supposed to be able to have a friend that I used to have meetings with. I did for 2 years. I did 3 meetings a week. I met a bunch of women there, and I'm not able to see my friends that live 8 minutes away from me, which I find extremely strange. I feel like they're making me feel like I live in a rehab program. This is my home. I'd like for my boyfriend to be able to drive me in his car." On January 4th, 2019, Britney announced an infinite hiatus and the cancellation of her planned Las Vegas residency after her father Jamie suffered a near-fatal colon rupture. Because of this, she entered a facility amid stress from her father's illness, yet a former member of Britney's team claimed that Jamie had canceled the planned residency due to the singer's refusal to take her medication, that he had been holding her in a facility against her will since January 2019 after she violated a no-driving rule, and that her conservatorship was supposed to have ended in 2009. These claims weren't proven to be true, but they were enough to give rise to a movement to end the conservatorship dubbed #FreeBritney. It has garnered attention from a number of celebrities including Cher, Paris Hilton, and Miley Cyrus, as well as a non-profit organization, American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU. Since the establishment of Britney's conservatorship, she's released 4 albums, headlined a global tour that grossed $130 million, and performed for 4 years in a hit Las Vegas residency. Yet her conservators, who include her father, Jamie Spears, have controlled her spending, communications, and personal decisions. In April, Britney had requested a hearing in open court to discuss the terms of the arrangement that was scheduled for June 23rd. On that day of the hearing, the hit pop singer described how she had been isolated, medicated, financially hit, and emotionally hurt. Then, probably not the most shocking but still newsworthy of all, was when Britney Spears finally called out her family, specifically her sister and her father, on the conservatorship mess on Instagram. In the icon's Instagram post, Britney shared a message that was very critical of her support system, describing her conservatorship has affected her life and career. This is what her Instagram post said. "There's nothing worse than when the people closest to you who never showed up for you post things in regard to your situation, whatever it may be, and speak righteously for support. There's nothing worse than that. How dare the people you love the most say anything at all? Did they even put a hand out to even lift me up at the time? How dare you make it public? Now you care. Did you put your hand out when I was drowning again? No. So if you're reading this and you know who you are and you actually have the nerve to say anything about my situation, just to save face for yourself publicly, if you're gonna post something, please stop with a righteous approach. When you're so far from righteous, that's not even funny, and have a good day. P.S. If you're reading this today and you can relate, I'm sorry because I know what it's like and I send to you my love." And added some kisses emojis. Britney may not have specified at whom the words were directed, but fans have speculated that she was referring to her mother, Lynn Spears, and younger sister, who until recently have remained fairly silent on the topic of her conservatorship. Jamie Lynn, who is also an actress, recently showed support to her sister at the end of June, saying in an Instagram video, nearly 1 week after her sister's dramatic public testimony, that she waited to speak on the conservatorship until her older sister had addressed it publicly first, yet this might seem to ignite some beef between Britney and her whole family. The case is still ongoing, but as of recently, Britney Spears' lawyer says he's moving aggressively to remove Jamie Spears as conservator. Fans are sympathizing with Britney, especially as she posts more and more emotional social media statements, stating how the conservatorship hurt her dreams, ruined her life, and is now shutting down her only hope remaining, as she called the process a so-called support system that hurt her deeply. "Hope is all I have right now," the pop star concluded, calling out those who criticized her latest dancing video and comments which somehow represent her unwillingness to obey her father again when it comes to her performance, the way she looks or dresses, and what she says. But now I want to know what you think. Do you believe Britney will be able to get rid of her conservatorship, or will she have to keep enduring the life she has been living? Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and until next time.